Conservation easements are so important to us, but they're also important to that landowner. Why do landowners want to put conservation easements on the property? Because it's generally what I see with them is they are deeply rooted, deeply connected to that land, and they can't imagine it being developed or changed. And they know how special it is, and they want to protect it, not only today, but for future generations. They also see a lot of times that the community is under threat of some type of development, and they want to play a part in terms of protecting that community forever.
I'm George Platts, and I'm standing now at the farm that my wife and I own a little bit north of Three Oaks, Michigan. In 2004, we donated a portion of this farm in the woods to Chikaming Open Lands for a conservation easement, which I believe was the, although not the first property that Chikaming Open Lands had, the first conservation easement. And you know, if you look over there, you can see where you've got that yellow board. The Dreyer family did a very nice job of preserving this property for the 70 years they owned it, and we have tried to do the same in the 30-some years since we bought it. When we built this bridge down here, we didn't realize, as a matter of fact, for years, practically since the day we bought the place, we have thought that the old growth part of this farm ought to be preserved. And so I had a ready answer for them, which was yes, we would like to do something. And so we worked on it, and in a short amount of time we had an easement prepared, which my wife and I signed.
The conservation easement focuses on protecting the most important conservation values of the property. So we try to do that. We identify those, we take time and identify those natural features. And then we also, so importantly, is that we work with the landowners very closely in terms of the future of the land and the future of the family, and how they see themselves on the land in the future. So each conservation easement is tailored to both the property and to the family.
Hi, I'm Mike Jasper. I'm a farmer, and I have 2 easements with Chikaming Open Lands, and I at one time used to be on their board of directors. Over in Weesaw Township on a 40-acre parcel that has 32.5 acres tillable, and that was one that I donated the conservation easement on there because it's probably it probably is year in and year out my best farm, and I just wanted to see that one stay in farming. How I got into farming was my grandfather on my mom's side was a farmer. He had 80 acres and a dozen cows, and he always raised tomatoes too for fresh market. And one of my earliest memories is him taking me out on an old Ford 9N tractor. He passed away when I was almost 8 years old, and Grandma had to sell the farm, but I always stuck with it, wanted to farm. And fortunately, 41 years later after his passing, I was able to buy the farm back. I feel it's important to protect farmland in general, especially here in Berrien County, is with our unique microclimate, it's good fruit producing ground. You know, you can't get much better than here in the variety, and you know, once it's gone, and it's never going to come back. So, you know, anything we can do to keep that going, I think, is important.